Hey, it's the holidays. It's Mark Lowe. And I just wanted to ask the question, what should I do for the holidays? Join me. Let's just look at some options. Well, hey, it's Mark Lowe, and I hope that you've been enjoying all the holidays that are going on. And it's kind of approaching the end of the year. Always a good time to reevaluate, see what's happening, look at the details. But, you know, somebody says, what are you going to do for the holidays? Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to spend time with my family. I'm going to eat. I'm going to look back at old pictures, and I'm going to look at other things. And hopefully I'll get a little bit of work done, but not too much, because I'm going to focus on the holidays and the time and end of the year and reassessing and all that. So here's one of the most important things that I do whenever I've got time. And it's one of the things that I think keeps me interested always, and not only doing my family research, but just doing research in general, okay? So number one, what should I do for the holidays? Well, I'm going to tell you, I think you need to discover. And let me just point out one of the fun things for me to do kind of on a regular basis. I'll go, whether I'm using a library edition or at home using my Ancestry, I'll go look and see what's new. And I'll do this for lots of things: Ancestry, Family Search, MyHeritage, lots of other things that are out there, even what state archives, etc., have just got ready and that sort of thing. And so one of the things that I do, not necessarily focused on research for me, but like this is what was new today. This is what's happening at Ancestry. It's just on that first page in the center. If you don't see it on your your landing page when you go, just type what's new or what's happening in Ancestry. And you can also click on the little gray button there at the top. This is see all new records. But I like to see what's come up new, what's been added, things that just remind me to go look and find out about records. So generally, I'll pick something that I've not looked at in a long time, or maybe never at all. It doesn't even apply to my family. I learned so much, though, by looking at records and beginning to identify just what exists. So let's take a look at Arkansas naturalization records, okay? This is from the federal records that are held at Fort Worth, Texas, in this particular area. And so there's the landing page for the Arkansas U.S. naturalization records, 1907 to 1968. And one of the things that I will do is I'm going to take time to look at the series of records there. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to read about their source, information, and in general things that have been added that are included, just telling me about that records, because that's all I need to do. Often I will randomly look at the first few records, and then I'll just randomly choose a record, and that's what I've done here. I've randomly chosen a page, and I just wanted to look at that record, and I want to discover, okay? So let's zoom in on kind of the top part of that. And this, I always find it interesting, and I will be honest with you. Often when I go look at a record like this, I'm going to take some time just to do a little research about this person. Now, this is a naturalization of an individual. So I'm going to have lots of personal information about the person, and then I can follow up on where they were living at the time, what might have happened to them later, that sort of thing. You know what? It's not my family, but we're all connected anyway. And one of the great things about that, it helps me to sharpen my skills. Keeps the knife sharp. It helps me to when I get ready to look at something myself, I'm always in the mindset of doing some research and discovering, okay? So let's get back to that record. Anton Zambi, age 18 years of age, young man, a student. That's his occupation. And that his personal description there, he's white, fair, 5'9" tall, weighs 145 pounds, brown hair, and gray eyes. No other distinctive marks. Now, that's pretty interesting because often when we're looking for folks, we don't have that kind of description unless we know them in person. I might be able to find pictures of Anton. Now, let's keep looking there. He's from Syria. He was born the 21st of October in 1907. Now he's given me his address in Helena, Arkansas, so I've got the street address. I could do a research in regard to that and maybe find out what was at that address. He's a student. Was he going to school? That sort of thing. He also, in regard to what's required on this application, he immigrated to the U.S. from Southampton, England, on the vessel, the Adriatic White Star Line. His last foreign residence was in Syria, where he had originated. He did make the notation that I am not married. Okay, or the clerk included that information as well. Now, just with that information, I kind of get excited because I'm thinking, what can I do with that? Where can I go? Where can I learn more information? And that's really the key that I want you to always develop. It's the end of the year. We're going to continue researching in a great new year, I'm sure. But what you want to always have as a researcher is interest. You want to have that little bit of just curious nature about wanting to find out, and then discover. And I want you to practice discovering on everything that you encounter, but in particular, choose a record and work it that's not related to a project you're working on in your family. Enjoy the process of research, enjoy the record, enjoy learning about an individual who may or may not still be alive, who might have led a very interesting life, or somebody else maybe led a life like me. The whole point is do some discovery. And with that information, I've got a tremendous amount of information to follow. Let me look at the other record there. He arrived in New York City on the 11th of September, 1920. Okay, so based upon his age, he's just been here for a short while based on when this application was done. And how many years has he been here, for example? I think it's interesting. I am not an anarchist. I am not a polygamist, not a believer in the practice of polygamy, and it is my intention in good faith to become a citizen of the U.S. Inevitably, you might be just interested in the politics of the day. And one of the things about doing historical and genealogical research is there's always politics present. So you could actually research some information about the laws related to INS, immigration and naturalization at the time, and why those phrases would be included, and who is it they're attempting to exclude. And traditionally, you may know part of that, and I find all of that interesting just to understand the truth of information. Now, there's his signature there, Anton Zambi, and this was done in July of 1926. So he's been here about 6 years. And there's the clerk of the court, and then the signature of the deputy. The deputy clerk's probably filled it out, and then the clerk has signed it. Okay, with that piece of information, I can go discover. Now, before I let you go, what should I do for the holidays? Okay, number one, if you have the opportunity, enjoy family and friends. And I understand everybody doesn't have lots of fun things to do with family. Sometimes we're isolated, and enjoy them anyway. Enjoy them in the possibility of connecting them with Zoom or Team, or just call them on the phone or send them a text or an email. Remember the fun times and the memories. There's nothing bad about remembering when things were maybe better for you. And I know many of us are restricted on where we're traveling and that sort of thing. Look back and remember. Pictures are always a great door opener to our mind. And look, study those pictures and even figure out if you can learn something else about family. Ask questions. Not only ask questions of folks that you're talking to, but family, but this is still a great time to ask some people that you're interested in. Is this a good time to send a note to an aunt or to an uncle or a card and say, hope you're doing well. Got a few questions for you. Send it along. Maybe even give them a call if they're able, and talk with them about it. Discover, discover, discover. Nothing wrong with discovering and always trying to learn new things, just finding out what's going on. And definitely take time for yourself. Now, I want to wish you and yours a great holiday. Right now, it's kind of weird kind of weird weather coming up here. It's going to be warm. So I know over the Christmas holidays, we're expecting like in the 70 degrees, which is not unusual in the South, but and that's pretty typical, to be honest with you, for Christmas, at least here in Tennessee. I remember a few with snow over the years, but generally we were able to play outside, maybe with jackets, sometimes bright and sunny. Whatever you do, enjoy it. Have a great day. Take time for yourself. And remember, it is the journey, not just the destination. Have a great day and have a great holiday. Thank you. Bye-bye.